I'm Bean, and here with me today I have Frank Hill, the fifth.
The fifth.
Okay. Wow, that's weird. Now that we're talking. Anyways.
What?
Yeah.
And we gotta come out get them from the jump. Yeah, you know what I mean? I feel like we gotta be ready to go.
Yeah.
Wait, are we on record or
No.
are you off? Okay, I wasn't sure if you're still. Bartender, really did it this time.
Oh wow, that was the whole problem.
What happened?
It was the SD card.
So should we just restart so we don't stumble over things we already said?
Yeah, it might be easier that
It was a good test run.
Yeah, I can't see. Let me go grab my glasses. We can't do it right now.
We could.
Yeah, I guess so.
We could try it. I mean, I'm not trying to.
Welcome to the Adventures of Bean. I'm Bean, and here with me today I have Frank Hill, the fifth. And so I haven't seen you for a while. I mean, I have, but
it has been a little while.
It's been a few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we kind of got together through Manners Matter. I mean, you asked me to be the photographer.
Yeah, that's where it all started, and we haven't had you take hardly. I mean, maybe there's one time I had you take pictures, but mostly it's just been you've just been in it.
Yeah, I mean, it started out. That's what you asked me for, but then I was kind of like, let's just dive in. I mean, from that first meeting that we kind of had,
it was good.
I wanted to be involved in something.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and this is a good, I think, beginning point for anybody just to immerse themselves in the community somehow.
Where have in Manners Matter, where have your thoughts been from the start to where we're at now?
Maybe we should introduce what it is.
Yeah.
So
that's probably a good idea.
Well, let me just say, so I think Manners Matter originally, it was a social media positivity outlet kinda. So that was the original goal. I think right now it's moving towards more of a community service, possibly a future nonprofit thing. But even if it's never an official nonprofit, it's just something cool
to give back.
Yeah,
that's the main purpose, is to spread positivity and give back to the community.
Yeah.
And through any ways that we seem fit, really, helping out old people, helping out young people, helping anybody in between.
Anyone.
And, small businesses and shopping locally, that kind of thing. Anything to help, we did the trash pickup, and that was helping the environment, helping the city look nice. So it's anything really for the city to be brightened up, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and I think, I don't think there's a lot of that going on right now.
Yeah.
I don't think young people, more than I think people give credit for, but I don't think there's an overwhelming majority of young people who are oh, I love my community,
Yeah, and that's what we should, while we're young and able to do these types of things, that's what we should be involved in,
Right.
The older people, they would love to see the city, but they don't, they don't have they have the time. I mean, some do, some don't, some don't have time, they have grandkids, they still have jobs in their 50s and 60s.
And now COVID.
Yeah. So they do and don't have time, but really I think it's about having the power, They don't have the numbers. Not every old person can get together on one given day and give their health, That's a big part of it.
Right.
So I think it's a good thing for young people to get involved in their communities.
Yeah.
And all of our members are really positive with that. I mean, I would say I'm probably the least involved, but I would like to be,
Well, I'd say in general, it's just difficult. I mean, when you are working, you go to school, or you work full time.
Yourself.
Yeah, it's just difficult. But I think for what it's worth, I think it's a good start. Even if, Christian, him and I were from the beginning. He's the first one that kind of reached out and said, you're onto something. And I was like, oh, maybe this is more than what I'm giving it credit for. Maybe it could be something a little better. So he's, I think Christian's been an asset. Alexis is very helpful. And I think it's good for all of you to give your input.
Yeah, we all have our different things that make us unique to the group, I think.
Yeah.
We all have multiple skills as well. Like,
Yeah.
Alexis and I, we can take pictures. We can do that. Alexis is really good with I don't know, how do you say that? Like sales, tech kind of stuff. Not sales, like, we don't have sales, but
marketing,
social
kind
media,
of, yeah.
appearances on social. And
Yeah.
you're good at that as well, and so is Christian. I have my own podcast, so
Yeah.
we're all like,
You got your
but
own.
we have our different steps to it,
Right.
But organization, I would say you're the one that more organizes stuff and wants stuff to come together, like gets things coming.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's hard, like an idea, like I'll just maybe be at work or maybe I'll be sitting at home doing homework or something. That something will come to my head, and then I get on this tangent where I'm looking up, how do you blah blah blah, or looking up just like statistics and math, and like as far as like the nursing home Christmas card thing.
Yeah.
Or Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Right.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah. And then we did it again for like the COVID thing. So, like I was just I remember the day I was just like, okay, I gotta figure out how many people there are in each. So it's hard to execute things. It really is.
Yeah, especially with COVID.
Yeah.
It's really, and we have to go about it in a way, even though it seems stupid to say that we have to go about it in a cautious way.
Mm-hmm.
But to be completely unbiased in helping the community in a specific way, you can't do things that contradict yourself,
Yeah.
We can't do certain things because it might have this outcome, and we don't want any negative. You're going to have negative views regardless.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we want a positive message, and I think we've been able to establish that.
I think so.
And we can continue to do that. But we've also, all of us, we're seeing that it's picked up a lot. We had to really sit back, and I think we're still doing that, and see actually where we need to take it.
Right.
Because there's so many opportunities and directions it could go.
Yeah. No, I think it's forming itself, and like I tell everybody, well, what do you want to do with it? Where do you I don't know. I think I've especially my senior year of high school, even still today, I don't know what where I'm headed, but it's difficult because I'm saying, my senior year into my first year in college, I was just so worried about planning each step of where I was headed. It just happens, and I've really grasped that in life, and I think it really has made life so much easier. I don't stress over things we all do.
Yes.
But I've learned to manage it.
Yeah, I've had a similar experience. I thought that I needed to plan things so far in advance, and I had to come up with these steps here. And for the most part, I'm still kind of that way.
Yeah.
I have to do A, B, and C to get to D to get to I have to do it in steps in order to get here. But I think my overall end focus has changed, and it constantly changes, and that's the part that I need to be okay with. And I've come to realization things are gonna happen, and it'll all come.
Yeah.
As long as you continue working hard and stay focused, and you're doing something.
Right.
No matter what that is, we'll end up where
where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I believe that. I think everything happens for a reason. I think that's just a way for human beings to deal with what happens in life, because life is just so unexpected.
And it changes so much in a second.
Yeah, and that's why it's, as far as manners matter, I think it's just best to let it ride on itself, and wherever it goes.
And
it
we
goes.
put in the work where work needs to be put.
Yeah.
That's something that's like, I always have like a bunch of ideas like you. That's like a big similarity. And even with Manners Matter, I brought a few ideas and like the podcast. And then I dive into these, and then sometimes it doesn't work, and I have to step back and say, "Oh, let's try something different."
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think you've been an asset to. You've brought a different perspective on things, and that's the thing too. I think I've surrounded myself with good people, all around in every aspect of
Yeah.
life, really. So, I think you're doing good things.
Yeah, I think overall we're all working. It's always odd to me because the people that I was close with in high school, I'm not anymore. But it's not like I hate them or
No.
and it's not. You really do. That's something that's hit me multiple times. It's like we do go our separate ways, and I don't have anything against them, and if they came to me today, I'd be there to help or whatever. But we are becoming our best selves.
Right.
That's what we're all working towards.
Yeah, and I think one thing that stuck with me, and I guess this all just spiraled from Manners Matter, but something that stuck with me that I actually was just scrolling through Instagram, and I follow all some motivation accounts and stuff. And it's so simple, but I just remember seeing a graphic that said success is a very lonely thing.
Yeah.
And it really, no matter how you define success, I don't think you need to be rich to be successful. I don't think you have to have a college degree to be successful. I don't even think you need a high school diploma to be successful.
Yeah.
I was raised by people who didn't have higher education. My dad went to culinary school, so that's something I'm really proud of. That he went through that and flourished in it, and is a very successful chef.
Did he do that later in life?
No, he was. I think maybe one, or I was just about to be born or something. And then he was just like, "Oh, I better get my shit together," I think.
Yeah.
And then he went to culinary school.
My stepmom, she said something to me. She said, even as adults, we don't know what we're doing.
Right.
And that just means they still make mistakes. They
Right.
still have to learn from their mistakes, even if
Some
looks.
are just better at pretending
Yeah.
that they have it together than others.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I'm very open and honest. I don't pretend to be anything that I'm not, and I don't think anybody should feel like they have to.
Yeah.
I didn't fit in well with the college crowd, and I think there's a good amount of reasons for that. But I feel like I'm not measuring my success based on other people.
Yeah.
I feel like this far I've been successful, just in my own realm of following through with things that I say I'm going to do. So,
Yeah.
and that's how I measure my own success.
Yeah, I guess a lot of when I ran track my freshman year, I ran in middle school, and then I ran track in my freshman year, and
Mhm.
that's one sport that is definitely you're not really running against the other people you're running against. It's a team sport, but it's very much you becoming your best.
Yeah.
You are looking to win, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen people 10 times more excited if they PR, which is beat their personal record.
Mm.
I've seen people 10 times more excited than if they won. And that says something, really.
Yeah.
It's just becoming your best self, and if the team benefits off that, then good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But college, see, I'm somebody that's very flexible. I can fit in pretty much anywhere. So no matter what path I choose or I've went down, I still kind of I can move wherever and still feel alright,
I feel the same way. And I think through high school and even today, I'm friends with a very diverse crowd. Like
Yeah.
I don't feel like I've ever really fit in with anybody, and I think that's a good thing. I feel like I bring
You think a lot of
myself to
people,
the table,
You
and some people like it and some people don't.
do you think a lot of people feel that way, or do you think it's fewer feel like they, you know?
I've thought about that, and I think a lot of people. I think everybody doubts themselves. Everybody's insecure, whether they want to admit it or not. But I think for the most part, if you're, the popular crowd,
Yeah.
you've got, and going. It's funny because we all think cliques being in high school. It's far beyond that. I mean, even older people, elderly, they have cliques. Some of them get
Yeah.
along, some of them. They have their own little card clubs or whatever it is. But I think in general, everybody questions whether or not they really belong.
Yeah.
Some people, like I said before, are just better at hiding how they feel.
Yeah. See,
So,
like I always thought in high school, I got along with everybody, but there wasn't a specific group. Like I hung out with mostly popular kids, but I was also okay with everybody else. Like
Yeah.
I also hung out with the kids that weren't as popular or that did something else, and then popular kids would be like, why are you hanging out with them? And I'm like,
well, and that's my frustration. I don't think of myself as better than anybody. I honestly don't.
Yeah.
I don't, no matter how much money you have or don't have, I don't compare myself, whether it's money or education, like I'm talking about success. Like
yeah.
I don't think anybody should be judged off of
Yeah.
things they can't control
Yeah.
or can control.
I mean, they
both.
can, but everybody goes through hard times. That's the gist of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's high school is critical because that is a point in time where you either drown or you float, and I feel like some people swim, but just staying above the water and like getting through high school can be really hard for some people.
yeah.
Some people not so much. I didn't feel like high school was very challenging in the terms of like coursework, like the actual schoolwork, but I learned a lot that I still use today in high
Yeah.
school.
And
So.
that's odd. A lot of people say otherwise, but it is what you take it as. It is whatever you get out of it.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to get out of it, basically, is what you get out of it. I mean, as of coursework, I think it's more about an effort thing. It's
Yeah,
more like,
how much time do you want to put into it?
yeah.
And that's the other thing too, like, it's, we all make jokes about the teacher's pet and like people who like, kissing up and everything,
Yeah.
but unfortunately that most of the time in high school, it's, not even just high school, I shouldn't just refer to college, school, work, whatever it is, being buddy with people is just something everybody does.
Yeah.
And
I think networking is good.
yeah,
You do want to be buddy
it is
with.
good.
You have a friend that,
Even if you don't like them,
yeah.
most of the time, hopefully you like them, but
Sometimes it's just a business relationship. If you have a business relationship, like it's going good, then you guys are both going to benefit in some way or not,
right.
You don't have to like each other, but, if you treat each other well, then you'll get something out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of what we do at our prime time, late teens, early 20s, I feel like definitely leads to what is later. But then again, there are people who were very, unsuccessful early in life, however you
Yeah.
consider unsuccessful, and flourished later on.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I say this a lot. I give this example a lot, but my junior year of high school, I had a 0.2 grade point average,
wow.
and I missed 88 days from what I remember.
You said your senior year?
Junior year.
Junior year.
I missed 88 school days,
Wow.
and I was tardy basically the rest. So I went from that, and then my senior year, I had my first 4.0.
That's great.
So in just like that little
I
amount of
think you
time.
did tell me that at some point before, but yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So and I made a lot of changes even far after high school. Like I'm still making changes from where I was then to where I am now.
You have, and you always will.
Yeah.
You know, we're not gonna feel the same way we do now in 10 years. So
Yeah. I just saw I was going down a wrong path and I needed to change something. So
and you did. That's all that matters.
yeah, and it's continuing me. I don't know.
Now look at you, have a world class.
Yeah, it's the Adventures Bean.
Hi.
So if anybody doesn't know, this is my first episode back with the new setup. I made this table. I made my girlfriend actually, Keelan. She made these cups for me. Got the little logo on them, and these ones.
Very nice.
I got this nice axe.
Got
Shout
an
out.
axe.
I forget what they're called. Northwoods. I bought it off of some guy. I think
We
it's
definitely
Northwoods.
need seats with backs. I feel like that's the next
I-
upgrade.
I have it coming.
Do you? Oh, you said you ordered chairs.
I ordered
okay.
them
Yeah,
due to COVID. They said 8 to 10
it's a
weeks.
slow. Okay. I mean, you could have built something. I feel like
Yeah.
you had a good notice that I was coming, so I feel like you could have.
I could have built something.
Yeah. You could have put like a log or something back there, to
Yeah.
kind of rest on.
Yeah, I know.
Something to think about. But no, I mean you
got
gotta point out your table too.
Yeah.
Handcrafted table.
Yeah, I made this myself. I said that. I made this
Did you?
myself. Yeah.
I don't think you
That
did.
was the first thing I said.
Oh. Well, in
I
case
said
you missed
this
it.
and then that. Yeah. But yeah, we got the setup going.
Yeah.
I don't
like
know
it.
what comes after that.
I feel like we just need an American flag back here, but
The Joe Rogan podcast, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna copy it completely.
I would.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
No, I like the Hendrix.
Yeah. I collect a lot of art. I have
I'm
a lot
not
of
sure what this is. Woodstock?
Woodstock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I collect a lot of art. You know, I make a lot of things. And I think, like, that wall, I have the start of it back there
Yeah.
on that side. And I think as time goes, I may take these down and put more just art and just have, like, a whole
Yeah, that'd be
wall of
cool.
art.
That would be cool.
That's kind of the plan, but it gets expensive,
Yeah.
you know.
Sure.
And when I'm paying for other people's art, it gets expensive.
Yeah.
And like, I have a lot of knickknacks. I have like, I don't know. I'm a collector. Collect a lot of things.
I've never been like, I don't think I've ever had something that I've collected.
No.
At one point in my life, I had like 9 Firebelly toads. It's like
So you collect it. You want-
I
you're a
was like
zookeeper.
8 or 9. I had like maybe 9 to 12. I feel like it was definitely
What are
at least
they?
6, but I'm pretty sure it was 9 or so.
Like, what do they do?
They're just some green little toads, and they've got red bellies, so they look like fire belly.
Do they like chirp? Like, do they?
I don't think.
What is that? I don't know. Grunt, chirp.
I don't think they make any. They maybe ribbit. I don't know if
Ribbit?
little toads ribbit or not.
Like how bullfrogs, you know.
Yeah, I don't know what they do. They might
You have
bark.
them.
It's been a long time. I mean, if we're gonna talk about pets, like this is a whole
Yeah.
whole thing.
You know what's interesting about that though?
What's that?
I've only ever asked for one pet.
Really, you've got me beat.
So I've only actually had one pet that I could say was my own, and it was a betta fish.
Wow, I've owned multiple of those, multiple guinea pigs. I think maybe 2.
We
I shouldn't
got
say multiple.
when I
A
was-
couple. Multiple hamsters.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
You know, dogs. You got little bulldogs, right?
I have one. We had 2, but there was an incident, so that was
It happens.
sad.
Unfortunate.
Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully, no one comes back and.
Have you seen the thing on, I don't know if it's Facebook or Twitter, Keelan just showed me this, but it was, if kangaroos are legal to own in your state.
I did see that. I think I don't know if Ohio was legal.
You have to have a permit,
Okay.
which, I mean, a lot of exotic pets, you have to have permits.
Right. that and there was something. There was a. I think
I found that comical. That I was just.
it is. It was a map of like the electoral votes, but instead it was whether or not you can own a.
Kangaroo.
Yeah. Did you vote?
Yeah, I voted.
Good.
I don't have my sticker. I should have put it somewhere. I don't know.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
She brought that up, made me think
This
of the election.
This is a really strange time right now. We're
It
just
is.
waiting. You know, usually voting.
I'm not liking it.
This is my first time voting.
Good.
I mean, it's probably yours for
It's
presidential.
for presidential. Yeah, I only
Yeah.
voted one other time, and it was I think it was last year's like the mayor was I
local
think.
stuff.
Yeah, local governor.
Yeah.
So I voted governor.
So state and local.
Yeah. So I think it
So
was the primary.
I just don't know what I really expected. You know, when I was younger, I guess I figured that after the polls, after everybody voted, you know, that day from what I understand.
Well, you do.
Yeah, but now it's like it's just dragging on,
It's
and it's
'cause
like this weird time where it's just like a waiting period.
yeah.
You know, what are you waiting to hear?
And it's just like the lockdowns for COVID. The more you sit around and you're wondering what's going on, the more people start drumming up crazy conspiracies, and it's just not good.
It's
not a good time.
It's a weird time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, if I ever have kids,
This is something.
They can-
This is like this is
They can-
literally a history book. Year.
it is.
Like they
Yeah.
make jokes like that. A lot of people make jokes like that on social media, and it's true. Like our kids are gonna be reading about us.
That's my biggest worry is our generation even already is having children. Some
Yeah.
people at a younger age.
You know what is weird though? I think this is like average. I think like the age we're at now, from prior past,
Mm,
this is like an average age.
it could be.
You know, early 20s.
Through wedlock.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, both of my grandmas were young mothers. Not extremely young, but
Yeah.
young.
Yeah.
Um,
Late teens, early 20s.
Yeah, I think that was typical
Yeah, I think that's typical.
back then.
I
They
think,
just didn't talk about it. The thing is, everybody wants to post on. Was it this recording that we went on the social media tangent, or was it the last one?
This is the last one.
Okay.
We haven't been there yet.
We haven't talked about it. Okay, so yeah, but everyone didn't air out their dirty laundry on social media. Now at this point, today, everybody's putting their business out, and
Yeah, it's weird for me when older people, anybody that didn't grow up with technology like how we did, we were probably like the first, like we're really the first to grow up with technology in our back pocket.
computers.
Like literally in our back pocket.
Right.
You know, our phones do
I mean,
everything.
I would argue though, I think babies that are born like maybe even I don't know 10 years ago or
Yeah.
so, like 10 years ago, 2010. I mean, people, babies were being born into
A different.
people having phones constantly in their hands and smart watches. I don't know, were those out 10 years ago? I don't really know.
I don't know. I think they had the what's that?
We're witnessing a
not the
great
not the
change.
iWatch, the Apple
Apple
Watch,
Watch.
but what's that other one?
Fitbit.
Yeah, that one was more popular
I was
actually.
one of the Fitbit.
That was like the first
Okay.
one. That was, I think, the big one.
Probably.
And then
Apple
Apple was
Watch
like, let's
came
make
out.
it top notch here. We can do everything on a watch.
You're right. Yeah, it sucks too. Like I think like prepaid phones are still a thing. I don't really know, but
Most people.
when I was younger, like I don't know, maybe 8 or 9, I had a track phone, and I'd run out of minutes, and that was like a big worry. Like hopefully I don't run out of minutes. People
Yeah.
don't know what that's.
Or even storage on your phone. Like, you have your family
Yeah.
plan. We only get 5 gigs or 10 gigs, and that was no big deal when,
Of data.
yeah,
Yeah.
a month or whatever.
Yeah.
That was no big deal, and then all of a sudden it was like you're using 30
bunch.
gigs a month.
Yeah, that's
And
what
it's
it
like-
I switched and I got like
Everybody does unlimited.
we
That's
did
why
an
they're
unlimited
taking
plan, and it was actually cheaper through AT&T, a little Cameo or shout out to AT&T right now, but
Yeah.
we got AT&T and it was cheaper for unlimited. We were paying more for not unlimited. But the thing is, we got that, then COVID happened. Now I don't even use data.
Yeah.
Like, it was almost like
Yeah, because Wi-Fi.
I'm just sitting at home, a lot of the time. But
Yeah, is really we're going in a weird place. I mean,
yeah,
from
It's
where we
scary.
were at as kids to where we're at now, like, I hate to be one of those old people. Like, we're starting to get a little older, and like things when we were younger, like, oh, 90s kids or whatever.
I'm
It's
not
just like-
liking it. Yeah, I still consider myself a kid. I'm definitely still a kid at
Yeah.
heart. I'll always be a kid.
Yeah, we're adults, son.
I'm a kid.
Alright.
I'm just kidding. No,
That's
I feel like that's the thing. I just think everybody is so quick to grow up,
Yeah.
and that's what we're
Why?
seeing with the new generation, young kids coming up now.
I think it's always been like that. I think people have always been.
No, what
excited to be
what I
older.
was saying though with social media, now you have young kids seeing what older kids are doing.
Yeah.
They
That's
don't
true.
have older siblings or whatever, but they're seeing on social media, TikTok, whatever, and it's just becoming normal
Yeah.
for young people to do what older people do.
Yeah.
So
When did you have your first phone?
it was the track phone when I was like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
So
What does a track phone do? I
never had a track phone.
No.
It's just a flip phone.
Yeah.
You just add minutes to it. I don't know why. I don't know if Track, TRAC. I think that's just like the brand. Yeah,
Company.
yeah, like LG.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a carrier. I don't think Track Phone's a carrier. Maybe it is. I don't
Could
know.
be like.
Could be.
What's that? I don't know. I'm not even gonna say that because I don't know. Cricket Wireless.
Yeah.
You know?
Boost.
Yeah, like those oddballs. It's so weird though. Like all the big companies they're like teaming together. Like T-Mobile. I just got a
That's what you're
notification.
seeing. It's just like you're talking about.
They're becoming monopolies.
Yeah.
Like Facebook
Yep.
buying Instagram. They're eventually just gonna be all ran the same
Yeah.
through the same company, and then T-Mobile partnered, but I'm pretty sure they just bought Sprint because that's who I'm with. is
Yeah.
Sprint, but
Yeah. I think that was a little bit ago.
and AT&T and Verizon, I'm pretty sure are in cahoots, whatever.
Yeah. It's
So
looking that way. And then AT&T and DirecTV paired, I think.
yeah, and then you have like the Disney and Hulu, aren't they?
Yeah.
Connected.
Everyone's just getting together.
Yeah,
It's just so great.
They're just gonna become monopolies, and that's. Where
I mean, I feel like if I was in that position, though, you start a good company, a bigger company comes to you and says, hey, I'm going to offer you this amount of money. I don't know.
I'm gonna take $100 million.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then I don't have to worry about this.
You're done. You could just live your life.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if people in that situation, they always want more, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah. So, I don't know. I think, as far as the whole age thing, I think within the coming years we're going to see big changes.
With
Just, I think the way our day-to-day lives
we already
are.
have.
I know, and I think
Yeah.
it's going to get more
I-
extreme.
I am so curious where the whole COVID thing goes.
I think it'll be squashed. I don't see, a lot of people screaming like, oh, New World Order, like, COVID is the turning point in our lives. One world, all
See,
that.
I agree with you. I did agree with you more. But then I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, what's it gonna be like when we can all go in the same place? Like, I'm gonna be a little weirded out.
I'm not.
I mean, a little bit.
I'm very cautious, but too many people have let this situation rule their lives. I think
Yeah.
personally, and now we're starting to get a little political, but I have to. Like, I really think
It shouldn't
people
be. It shouldn't have to be political.
Right.
It's too.
but it
separate.
became political, and now everyone's sick of it
Yeah.
because now it's constantly down your throat. And there's two sides to it. We should be informed so that we know how important it is not to go places or where we can or can't go. Then on the other hand, it's like how often are we gonna have to be worried about this? And it's like people are clinging to the TV. This election right now, people are clinging. I'm people
Yes.
clinging, looking constantly. What are the votes coming up?
Yeah.
With the pandemic, how many people are infected today? It's just like, and I mean, I was in South Korea when it
Yeah,
all
I
kind
wanted
of
to
hit
get
the
to that at some
fan.
point.
It all kind of just hit the fan.
That must have
But-
been. You must have been like a little scared.
I was concerned.
What if you couldn't have got home?
That was my biggest worry.
Yeah.
But I knew my boy Trump had my had my back.
Had to go there.
Yeah. No, I was concerned.
Yeah.
I was worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have been. You're in a foreign place. At least you had some people there that and
Yeah.
they probably would have been willing to.
Very generous people.
Yeah, they would have been willing to keep you,
Yeah.
throw you out on the streets.
They
and
could have.
That would have been.
But here's my thing, I went all the way to South Korea. I'm in the subways, I'm in the restaurants, I'm in the businesses. I didn't catch COVID. I mean, I'm not
Were they
saying.
busy?
What's that?
The subways and stuff.
Oh yeah, you gotta remember
is
this
it
is
like New York?
Oh, I mean, it's Seoul. It's the
Yeah.
capital of South Korea
So
where I
it's
was.
big.
So it was, very packed.
Yeah.
I was shoulder to shoulder with people, on subways, coughing, whatever they're doing. And I'm not like denying the fact that it's very,
Contagious.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I think it is. I believe
Have
all
you
the
got
science
tested?
that I've, what's that?
Have you got tested?
I haven't. So that was my point. I never had symptoms, but it's very possible I had it
Yeah, you.
and carried it. But then again, I really don't feel like I ever had it.
Yeah,
I
there's.
mean,
It depends on
Like
your
never
health.
had it.
Some people don't know they have it. They get the antibody test.
I was very worried. I took quarantine like when I got home, I was very serious about staying home
Yeah.
and not going anywhere, just to be careful. And then after a few days, it started getting like,
Yeah.
I'm sitting all day doing nothing. It was very,
Yeah.
and all by myself. Like I was just.
I
worried.
don't see that we would ever go back to the exact same. Like you may think that we would, but I think it's been too long. We've been doing some stuff so different for it to ever go back to something completely the same as it was. Like I think we learned something from this. We go somewhere from the whole COVID.
Well, I think now it's become a situation where you have people who are relying on the internet and computers and phones to do their jobs, and some people are fine with that. They don't want to deal with people. They want to sit at home all day, which there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you like. I want to be out with the people,
Yeah.
meeting people, experiencing life. I don't want to be
Yeah.
stuck behind a screen, and I don't think that's where we're headed. Personally, I don't. Some people do.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying.
There's
I
a
do
lot
think
of-
there's going to be changes that
In some
that have
way.
been implemented that
Yeah.
aren't going to go back. I think
Yeah,
for
like
sure.
think,
And
think about the pickup at like curbside delivery at all the restaurants
Yeah.
and all
well,
the
even
big stores.
where I
and-
work, that's a thing.
Yeah,
So
so will that continue? I think for a lot of places it will.
I think so. Carry out's always been a thing, but the curbside part,
Yeah.
yeah, people. I feel like sometimes it's laziness. Like, I really don't feel like getting out of my car. Will you please just bring my food to me?
Yeah.
Which is cool.
I
Like,
feel
whatever,
like
that's fine. Just,
I've always thought that's kind of where we're headed with a lot of things. Like we're just becoming more lazy,
we have been lazy.
and
And that's why
In a big
obesity is
sense.
the bigger pandemic.
yeah, but a lot of good things come from people being lazy. Like think about those guys. I don't know. I forget what the movie is. It might be War Horse. Don't quote me. This is. But the guy's using a till, and he has a horse pulling it.
Mm-hmm.
Before they used horses, they had to hand tow that. And then he used a horse to make it easier on him. But now we're at a thing where we're so far above that,
Yeah.
so far past that, so the people are in these $100,000 tractors, and they just press a button, and it goes, and they sit there and eat their lunch and whatever. That's how lazy, somebody was hand doing that
Right.
100
And that's
years ago.
entitlement. Entitlement comes from that.
Yeah.
because you think I should just be able to do what I want without having to work to get there. And unfortunately, a lot of our generation and our parents' generation, even some of their parents' generation, feel that way, and it's obvious. And that's a problem, because once a society becomes so dependent on the fact that someone else will do it, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to, I understand the whole minimum wage thing. Some people don't want to work, certain jobs for minimum wage. But the thing is, the type of work you do, not everybody gets to be a millionaire. Not everyone gets to be, even make six figures. Not everyone is going to do that. And that's okay, but the thing is, it's not a right to make that much money.
Yeah. People put in.
However, you're making that much money, and let's say you're sitting back, you're paying your employees, you built that business.
Yeah.
But I think there's an increasing income inequality, and a lot of it has to do with people. I shouldn't say a lot of it. I think some of it has to do with people that don't want to go out and work.
Yeah, I think, you said they don't want to do something. So, in my opinion, somebody else will do it.
Exactly.
And you'll get charged for that.
And that's my thing, like, we're gonna, a touchy subject, but immigration, I feel like, is a very political thing, and we don't have to make it political. My opinion on it is, some people argue, well, these immigrants, they're stealing our jobs and blah blah blah. I think that's so unfair. That's such an unfair, because first of all, we're all immigrants, if you want to get technical.
Yeah.
I believe we are.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But just to piggyback on my point is that, like you said, somebody else will do it. And if you're not going to do the job, and your kids aren't going to do the job, let somebody do the job. That's my opinion. I mean, and I've had so many people that I've talked to. I say so many because there has been our age, even older, who have said, I can't find a job. Like
You
blah
can
blah
go
blah.
work.
Well, unfortunately, I could find you a job.
Yeah.
Okay.
No matter.
I mean, maybe not what you want to do.
I agree.
Maybe you don't want to work at Burger King. Maybe you don't want to work at a store.
Yeah.
You know, pushing carts and cleaning carts.
Factory. I hated the factory work, but
You're not doing that anymore?
No, they take. No.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I thought you did.
We gotta.
I guess Christian didn't either.
I didn't
he was on
know.
the
What do you do
podcast.
now?
I'm just home healthcare and doing projects myself.
Maybe you did tell me. I feel like I've seen you in scrubs at some point. Do you wear scrubs?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Did you ever?
Am I sure? Yeah. Scrubs as in what?
Like nurse clothing?
No.
No.
Never.
You weren't in pharmacy or
I'm
nursing?
a home health aide.
No, in high school you weren't in any of that.
No.
I swear I've seen you in scrubs.
I'm in the home. Wait, listen. I'm in the medical field. I'm a home health aide.
Yeah.
But I hate.
What do you wear to
hate
work?
medical stuff.
What do you wear to work? That's what you wear. Okay. I don't know. I thought you had worn scrubs.
I mean, I had a uniform when I worked at a factory. When I worked at Shears.
I don't think it was scrubs.
No, it wasn't scrubs.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't think factory.
You're getting off subject.
Huh?
Where were we talking about?
Factory
before that?
jobs.
Oh yeah.
I was just gonna say I don't think I could do it.
Yeah, it's hard work. It wasn't for me.
I mean, if
I'll
I
say
had
that.
to, I would.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't be
where
my
I
first
was at.
choice.
That's where I was at. It's definitely hard work.
I give it to.
You get paid well for it.
I give it to factory workers. I think that's blue collar jobs is kind of like, I think has taken up the back burners because those industries are have died out in places like Massillon.
Yeah.
But those some of the most badass people you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
Worked in a factory at some point.
Yeah.
So.
And there's a lot of people that aren't great. Every job, there's people that slack.
Everywhere
There's
in
people
life.
that don't do their job right, or they want to take shortcuts.
Yeah.
But
I just have an urge to make this political.
Where are you headed?
What do you mean?
Like where are you headed at in your career?
I don't know. I mean, I'm studying political science.
That's
That's
why you
kinda
want
where
to
I'm-
make this political.
Oh, exactly.
You want to get into it?
Nail it in. No, I mean, I don't know. I'd like to work a government job somewhere, somehow. Whether it's local, state, federal, I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe I never will. I don't know.
yeah. Are you a good cook?
No,
No,
No.
not at all. Probably better than
I don't
me.
enjoy cooking.
Is it because your dad cooks?
Yeah, probably.
Like you don't want to do
I just
what
take it
he's
for
doing?
granted, probably, that
He makes
I've
good
grown.
food.
I've grown up around that, so I think I've always I've never really learned. I mean, I can cook. If I have to cook, I can cook for myself, but I don't. It's not something I'll be like, let me just get it. My brother, he's 13. He can cook. He can make some. For 13 years old, like,
Yeah.
he's very, and he sees stuff on TikTok, like recipes and stuff, and he'll, Dad, can you go get my this, blah, 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 I want to make it. So he's a very,
There's a lot of men that don't have that ability. There's a lot of men that don't even like going to the grocery store.
yeah.
You know, I love going to the grocery store. That's like my favorite
Really?
thing to do.
I hate that.
I love getting
God, I
food that
hate
I
it.
want. I love, I do like the grocery store.
I hate the grocery store. I hate Walmart. I hate to go to Walmart.
Yeah.
I much prefer to go to Mark's. I loved Fisher's. Like, I don't grocery shop much, like, you know, but when I do go to the store, if I have to get something,
Yeah.
I'd much rather just go to a local place. I'm big into, like, you know, local.
Yeah, I support local people. But
Sometimes you can't. Sometimes Mark's isn't going to have what Walmart has.
See, I've worked since I've graduated high school. I've worked midnights. Who's open at midnights? You're only like for food wise.
Walmart.
You're talking Walmart. You're talking fast food. No, you don't have any local fast foods that are open 24/7 at least.
Right.
You know, so I've become a little reliant on like those kinds of places. So it's hard to shop local. You know.
Yeah. No, that's understandable. A lot of people are in your position, so.
Yeah. A lot of, yeah. Midnights, give and take, they're good. They're bad. Like, I got my days free for the most part.
I wouldn't
Besides
want
when
to
I
do it.
sleep.
I wouldn't want to do it.
I can schedule my sleep, is what it is. That's what I like about it. Like, I can say, I'm going to get off work, I'm going to stay up until noon, and then I'm going to sleep for a couple hours here, then I'm going to get up and do this, and then that. So, like, if you have things to do, you can really push your sleep to wherever you want it, kind of,
Yeah.
you know.
I've known people that have worked midnights.
You never get used to a routine. You never have a routine.
Really.
On my days off, I go back into what my girlfriend is on, like a normal sleep at night schedule.
Yeah.
And then I go back and I regret that decision a lot, but you know, you want to spend time with people, you got to be on their schedule.
Spend time with them sleeping.
I mean,
However you can.
no, I just mean like on my days off.
Yeah.
So I have
Just
to be
catching
awake
up
during
on
the.
regular hours.
Yeah,
regular people hours.
I go through a lot of coffee. Like
I bet.
Well, let's just take it. I had a cup last night before work. I had a cup this morning.
Mhm.
Then I went to bed, and then I had a couple hours ago, and I'll probably have another one tonight.
It's a lot of coffee.
It's like 4, but some days I push a lot more.
I'm not a big coffee person.
No, why not?
I don't know.
It's just not for you.
No, I mean, I'll drink it. You know, if I go. Sometimes I'll just be like, I feel like having a coffee.
You know what's weird? My girlfriend, she doesn't listen to podcasts. She doesn't listen.
Where did that come from?
I'm gonna correlate.
Oh, okay.
So the coffee, I always tell her, she's like, I don't like podcasts. And I was like, have you listened to one? She was like, I've listened to yours. And I was like, you haven't
She
found
never had.
No.
Listened to your.
No, she listened.
Oh, only yours. Okay.
Yeah. But it was a struggle to get her to, almost. Like she wants to, but it's like not entertaining to her at all. And I'm like, you just haven't found the right one for you.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm correlating the coffee thing. Like, you haven't found the right coffee for you yet.
I like coffee. I just, like, I don't know, it's not, I don't wake up in the morning and think, oh, I need some coffee. I just wake up.
No, I'm at the point where I don't want coffee, I need coffee.
Really?
I need coffee.
I feel like it's an addiction. I feel like
It
once people start
Everything
drinking
can be
coffee.
an addiction.
Yeah,
You know, if you want to put it that way.
it's true.
There's not.
I mean, I guess it's a better addiction than most things, but
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
You know, like even your hobbies, you know.
Yeah, anything can become addictive.
You
Too
know-
much of anything isn't good.
Yeah. I think, I wanted to say this a little bit earlier, but I've been trying to become self-sufficient a little bit. Like, I've been hunting, doing that. I'll probably have my cousin on the next podcast. We can talk about that a little more, but my girlfriend's dad was showing me how to make wine and that kind of stuff, and I've been interested
That'd be a cool
in aquaponics and gardening and that kind of stuff, but you know, I have my own meat. I know how to do that. I want
It's
to
important.
learn like gardening stuff, and I think the more knowledge you know, the more you know how to do things.
Mhm.
Not just like knowledge, but the more you know how to do things, the less reliant you have to be. The better off you're gonna be.
Yeah.
You know, if I knew how to work on cars, which I would love to, but if I knew how to do that, I would never have to pay somebody to do that for me.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and that's just something too, like, it's just funny you bring up, like, I remember my grandpa would always say, like, you know, these damn cars these days, they make them so you can't work on them yourself. And I don't know if it was really, he was just outdated, like,
A
and
lot
he
of-
didn't learn the new,
Yeah.
or if it was just more like
There.
they really do make them that way, so
So
that you have to go to a mechanic, but I don't see why the car manufacturer
Sure.
would benefit from that,
Yeah.
so,
Warranty.
going to it, huh?
Get your warranty.
Yeah,
on the car,
maybe.
extended warranties, so that you don't have to deal with
You ever got that call? We're
Well,
calling about your extended
yeah.
warranty.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I've got one for them too. I hate that.
Yeah. I
haven't got one in a while,
I
but
hate
they
that.
haunt me.
I get all kinds of emails, and you know, it's probably my own fault.
Probably.
You know, but I don't really think it. I think the average person doesn't think about that. You know, you go to a store, and they're like, "Oh yeah, what's your email?"
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like,
Let's
"Wait,
sign you up
yeah."
so you can get 5 points every $100, and
Not
you
even
never
that.
get the rewards.
Not even that. I've went to stores where they're just like, "Yeah, what's your email?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And they're like, "Type it in." And they're like, "Oh, it's just so we can send you a receipt," but really you're getting 300 ads every day.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Like I don't even pay attention.
It's annoying.
Yeah, I get a lot of those. I get a lot of
Spam.
calls. Yeah, well, the spam is the most annoying thing about technology, I think. Like,
Yeah.
the ads now,
Because anybody can reach you. Really, realistically, anybody could reach you.
the double ads on YouTube. Those.
You gotta wait 5 seconds, then another, and then skip ad.
Yeah.
Like, come on, YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
come on. I don't know.
They have to make money somehow, I guess.
Yeah.
Watch Social
Everyone's
Dilemma.
out for.
Watch Social Dilemma. It'll tell you all about it.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah. Yeah, you probably have. I guess this isn't low enough for like a put your feet on bar.
This bar,
Yeah, it's a little high
you
up.
could.
Yeah.
It's a nice table.
You know what's crazy is I can literally change the dimensions of the bottom part any way I want. Because I made these with pipes,
Mm-hmm.
so I can literally unscrew all these pipes, make it half the
What
height.
you could do is put like a swinging footrest on it.
Now you're getting crazy.
No, I think that'd be awesome.
We're gonna swing
You guys
together.
put your foot in it? No, like maybe individual for your shoe,
Yeah.
and then you just put your shoes in it and
Like
just
saddle?
rock them or
Should I
something.
just put
Yeah.
saddles down there?
Yes, that's what I would do. I think that's a great idea.
Maybe those should be the seats.
Now we're giving away our patent for
Yeah.
you said give away seats.
No, I said maybe I should just make saddle seats and you just sit here on a saddle.
We could just sit on a swing. Put a
Wait.
swing hanging from the ceiling.
A swing hanging from. Wow. I don't think I'm
We're
gonna
getting-
that's too far.
Too far. Okay.
Anyways. What else do you want to talk about? We got some. We're 55 minutes in.
Has it been 55 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever you want to ask, grill
It
me.
just goes. There was something I was gonna ask, and then I kind of got away from it, and now I forget. Really, if you want me to be honest.
Wow.
What activities were you in high school?
Swing band. That was like my most
Yeah.
proud thing. I
What?
love bands.
What's your experience with that, music in general?
I'm definitely not any professional. I mean, I played trombone, so if you give me a trombone, I could probably play.
I don't have them. I wish I did, because I would just get you on right now.
Yeah, I mean, I can play a trombone. I'm not great at playing the trombone, but I know, like, I just love being in band.
You're part of one of the best swing bands in the nation.
Probably the best.
Yeah. I don't want to say it.
I would put it out there. No, I love band. That was that is what I said earlier about high school. I still utilize things I learned in band
Yeah.
today.
Yes, I was in football until my sophomore year, and then I stopped. I quit. But a lot of the messages, a lot of the skills, a lot of that still carry with me today, and sometimes they just pop into my head, and I'm like...
It makes you realize how much of an impact adults have on young people.
Yeah, you do.
And even adults have on...
I think that's this
adults.
chapter of my life, what I want out of it, you know? I wanna help out the youth a lot.
Good.
You know? I don't know
More
how.
people.
Like, I know how, but I don't know how I'm going to.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I know.
It'll happen.
Yeah. Even just siblings, like my little sister, she's 10, turning 10, I believe. Yeah, turning 10.
You believe.
2021, she's turning 10. No, I know her birthday.
Okay.
I just had to think real quick. But it's just like, even if I just impact her, that'll make a difference in my life. I'll
Yeah.
be satisfied, but I would like, you know, bigger. I'd like a bigger idea than that.
Yeah. You could do it.
Yeah. It's
There's
just,
a lot of ways.
yeah.
Especially in our community, there's a lot of young people who need reached out to.
Yeah. I think a lot of people just don't know how. I think a lot of
I think so. And now we're living in a culture.
or it's not convenient for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people are much more inclined to give money towards causes because other people are going to do the work.
Yeah.
So that's kind
And
of,
it's convenient, that's the part.
yeah.
You know, it's a hard thing, especially now in my life, what I've realized, it's a hard thing managing time. If you can manage your time well, that is a skill. That is like probably one of the most important skills, like being organized in your time.
Yeah, I feel like I've never really had that issue as far as like making sure I get things done. And I think a lot of that, to go back to what I was talking about earlier, with not worrying so much about everything, I've always been and it's something I feel like I can attribute to being in band. Like, it was very serious to be where you need to be at the right time.
And play the right
That
notes
stuck
at the
with
right
me.
time. Band is probably
Yeah.
really...
Yeah, I mean, even in the
Coordinated
music.
Yeah.
Like events, whatever we were doing, they're very serious. Like, get where you need to be.
Your timing has to be on.
Yeah. So,
In swing band, you know your steps, your notes, everything has to be on time for that.
right.
That's,
I've always been on time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've always been the exact opposite.
Not on time.
I've never had schedules, I've never, you know, papers for high school, this is like laughable, but papers for high school, I would turn in 5 days late, like usually.
See, that would
that's
drive
like
me
my
nuts.
average.
I couldn't do that.
And teachers, I sucked up a lot,
Oh,
a little bit. I mean, a lot, a little, depending who they were.
yeah.
Some teachers would just tell me like, no, F. I'm like, oh jeez,
That's a
not
shame.
again.
Right.
And then some teachers would be like, yeah, just whenever you get it done, and before the period or whatever, semester, quarter, whatever it was over, I would just hammer and just get all these papers
Catch
that
it
were
up.
due. Like, some teachers were like, yeah, just turn them in at the end of the semester.
I'm definitely a procrastinator. Like, so
That's where I'm at.
I'm good at managing my time, but I definitely don't have a problem with putting things off
Yeah.
if it's not like urgent.
Yeah.
Like, I'll wait until the night before to do, a 5-page paper. I'll just be like, I'll just kind of kick it out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not all the time, but most of the
See-
time. Because I think I work well under pressure. So, like, I know I have to get it done.
I'm the same in that aspect, but mine's not as. See, like, I've gotten a lot better, but it's still like, I don't know. I'm still late to everything. I really am late to everything.
Just
I got
everyday things.
my senior superlative was always late.
What was it?
Always late. Senior superlative, like.
That was, you won it?
Always late. I wouldn't say I won,
Oh.
but I was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was always late.
I don't remember. I think mine was like most involved or something. Like, I think I won it with Gia. Her and I were.
Shout out Gia.
So, yeah.
She won a lot. I think she was in it multiple times.
Yeah. I think she was. I think she got like most spirit or something.
Yeah.
And then her and I shared, I think, the involved thing.
Yeah. I think,
But no, it's really cool too, like, just to see people our age doing great things. And that's something I really admire too about you. Like, I think just seeing what you post on social media, it's always a positive. Like, I've never seen you post anything like digging at anybody or disrespecting anybody. You've always, posted things
there's people that are
supportive,
Yeah.
of everybody.
There's
And that's
people that are a lot further on that kind of thing, and also just comparing a little bit, there's people that are doing a lot greater things than I.
I wouldn't say that.
I mean, I would.
But, I mean, again, that's just how you measure.
And it's their life,
Right.
But, like, there's people becoming doctors, there's people saving lives, there's people being nurses and things like that,
Right.
And I'm like,
But somebody's gotta be good at everything.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I guess everybody's gotta be good at something.
yeah.
So I think we all find our own
Yeah,
niche.
Yeah, I think my thing is I'm just like a creative person, and my life has to be creative. I do well with changes. I do well with trying new things, and I'm like the jack of all, master of none. I'm like good. I'm okay at everything, but that means I'm better than a lot of people. At
But
a lot
I'd
of
say
things.
I'd say you're very good at some things. I think we all have things we're okay at, but I think we all have things that we're very good at. Like this table, if you gave me all the supplies to make this table, I would have been like,
Yeah, I think
it
that's
definitely
part of
wouldn't
my,
have had like, corners on it or anything. Like, it just would have,
might not have made it there.
no. It'd probably just be sitting up on the poles, like.
Yeah.
But no, I think we all find our own.
Yeah, I think this is part of my next thing. I think I don't want to give too many things away, but I think in the upcoming, I think I'm gonna have some kind of woodworking aspect to my career in my life.
Cool.
Whether it's business or being a carpenter, making houses and stuff like that. I enjoy using my imagination, and I also enjoy working with wood.
You gotta utilize that then. If you recognize that now, then that should kind of traject you into.
Yeah, but I also have a lot of other things. Like, I have another business idea that's gonna come into play. I think this is I really want to sell these types of tables, but I also
I'd buy one.
I want to have more stuff to go with it because these are expensive tables.
Really?
Materials for this, I think I told you, I spent close to $1,000.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah,
That's
for all the
pretty-
materials for this and all the tools I needed, I would say well over $1,000. Not well over, but a little bit over $1,000.
That's a lot of money.
People sell
So
these,
just for one thing.
from what I've seen, is people sell these for $5 grand.
Wow.
Dinner tables, that's more like.
Well, how did you get this edge on the corner?
Like how it's like that?
Yeah.
I routed it. I used a router. I used a bit on like a thing that slides and like cuts this.
Oh, so you did it was just a piece, and then you cut it after it dried.
What do you mean? It
Like-
was a piece.
I thought maybe you had like a mold.
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
Are you talking about the whole table? How I got this?
I'm talking about this edge.
the blue stuff.
Just the edge that you can put your finger.
Yeah, I cut it afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I cut this afterwards with a router.
Yeah, see, like that, and that's the thing too. Like, in every craft and every trade, there's like things you wouldn't think of. Like, I don't know, I can't think of an example right now, but like, I don't know, working the poles. You think, oh, they're just sitting
How's that
there.
experience go?
There's something else, but every job has like little details that nobody would think of.
Everybody's an artist.
Yeah.
You know.
And as far as pole working, that is an art that I don't want to.
Yeah.
It was.
So it's not like being a Walmart grader.
Well, I was a pole observer,
Oh, what do they do?
so literally for 6 hours I just sat in the corner and watched, like to make sure everything kind of went well.
Yeah.
Which I felt uncomfortable. Like, you know, I don't feel like I need to be overseeing these people. They, you know, much older than I was. Like, they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
But this election was very,
Serious.
well, it still is
Important.
very serious. Yeah. So
I mean, it is regardless, but this one is more.
pivotal,
Yeah.
I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a great experience. I think everybody should do it at least once,
I was going to this year. My grandma
just so
said.
you can respect. And the same thing serving. Like I say about servers, everybody should have to be a server. If you're gonna eat in a restaurant in your life, you should be a server.
You know, that's one thing.
At least, I don't know, a month.
You worked at a. Do you still work there?
Yeah,
You still work.
I'm a server.
So, you said to me when we were at dinner the one night, you were like, "Wow, that's a nice tip," and I was like, "Yeah." Like I do that everywhere. I tip well, regardless.
You should.
I mean,
But as a server myself, I know when I don't give good service. There are days. I have days where I'm just kind of like, maybe I don't feel like
yeah.
talking to people or whatever it is. And when I don't give good service, the tip reflects it.
Yeah.
And I don't see any problem with that. However, when I'm doing a good job and you tip me $3 on an $80 bill,
Yeah.
or you leave me the change
Yeah.
when I give you, like, yeah, I'm, you know,
Yeah. That's
I'm not very happy with you.
Yeah.
Like, so if you come back, I'm probably gonna have a bit of a vendetta against you, kind of
Yeah.
like.
See, that's the thing. I think. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to say the older generation. There's a lot of people, young people that don't tip well. A lot of young people.
I'd say it's
Even
both.
it's everybody. But what I do is I don't start out at the bottom. I don't say you have to earn this tip. I start off like right in the middle, and you can either go up or down. And that's
Yeah,
how.
that's a good.
That's
way to
kind of
look
how I
at it.
base it. You know.
Yeah, I think a lot of people start at the bottom, stay at the bottom, just because
Yeah.
they're either cheap or they just don't understand how hard it is to be a server.
Yeah.
Being in the service industry, food industry, whatever, it's not retail, whatever you do. Dealing with people is hard.
Yeah. I can't. That is one thing. Like doing this podcast is the most interaction I have to do with people.
Yeah.
Like, literally.
It makes you branch out though, kind of.
Yeah.
Maybe if you're not comfortable.
I mean that I have to. I don't even have to. There's in my work or life in general, I'm not part of anything where I have to be involved with people whatsoever. This is extra.
Right.
Like going to the store, and if I talk to somebody, that's extra.
Yeah.
I don't have to do that. There's a lot of people, like you, yourself, that has to talk to people on a day-to-day basis. I don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't like it. It's
And
not
that's fine. And that's the thing too, like, to go back to high school again, that example, you still have the stickers on your cups.
Yeah.
Side note.
They can't see it, and I'm
That's
giving away
well,
everything.
here, the thing for me is, like, when we're in high school, some people have anxiety, you know, they don't want to get up and talk, maybe, they're not comfortable doing certain things, or they don't like this or that, and they're pushed into, well, you gotta try it.
Yeah.
Which I'm a firm believer, you have to try
Yeah.
anything that you're afraid of.
You gotta make yourself uncomfortable.
But if you don't grow from it and you're like, I really don't like doing this,
Yeah.
so be it.
See, I don't do well when I'm in the spotlight. I never, in class, like my face would get red, I would get all nervous, my voice would get all like shaky and stuff.
See, every
When I'm in
time
front of people.
I would ever get up, it was just like people laughing. So I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
they were laughing at me or with me, I don't know, but I feel like I have.
Like, I'm not a give somebody a presentation, I'm not somebody that gives somebody a speech. Were you at our what is that called, baccalaureate?
At the church?
Yeah.
Yeah, I spoke.
Were you there? I spoke too. I did probably.
I'm trying to remember.
People still clap for me though, so
I
I
can't
was
remember.
like,
I can't really
wasn't
remember.
that bad.
Yeah, I don't really remember that night too much.
See, I do really well when the spotlight is not. Like, the crowd can be as big as it, like, I can be talking to like 50 people at once, and as long as everybody isn't staring at me and listening to what I'm saying specifically, then I'm fine.
Yeah.
But once I get in front of people and it's silence, and it's
It's
just
kind
me,
of like your heart
it's
starts racing.
yeah, it's like intimidation, I'm not used to that.
Yeah.
But it's weird though, because I do well under pressure any day. Like any kind of, like when you're bow hunting, you're under a lot of stress all at once. And you pull back your bow and there's a deer like 5 yards away from you and your legs are shaking.
I've never hunted actually.
You have to be very still, and the animal, in my experience, they look at you. And you have to be still so they don't see your movement. And you're looking eye to eye at this massive animal, and it's just staring at you, waiting for you to move. And you have to pull back, and everything. And your heart is just going. And
You're about to take a life.
yeah, I've done. I mean, I don't know how to say that. I've done well under that circumstance. I've done well in football games. I've done well in certain, like a lot of different things. But that's one thing. Public speaking, not my.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I'm not a good leader.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm like the silent leader. I'm like the
Yeah.
lead by example kind of guy.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't lead by telling people. Like, I'm not a boss.
Yeah,
That
makes sense.
I guess I could be, but I'm not like a.
the desire isn't there to.
Yeah.
Some people have that. Like I feel like I have the desire, like just kind of.
See, you're like we all kind of have some certain roles in the Manners Matter, to go back on that.
Yeah.
You're like the unsaid kind of organizer, per se, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's valid. I think that makes sense.
I wouldn't say you're like the leader of us and everything you say is what goes.
No, I don't think so at all.
No,
I think it's
but
very
I think
open.
You're the unspoken organizer, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely my thing. I don't want to push that on anybody, like to make them feel like they have to do anything outside of, because it's all volunteer. I
Yeah.
can't pay anybody, so I'm very grateful for all the help. Like
Yeah.
Alexis, you, Christian.
All the
I
other
guess it's a
people.
good segue. Like coming back to where we started, I think the overall message. Like I'm very, very, very thankful for everybody that's supported it. It's not like we have a million
Yeah.
followers or a million
Yeah.
people that know about it, but
Maybe you will. I mean, you're on the Adventures of Being.
right,
This is
this
pivotal.
I'd say this is like the start of my career right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I see in my life I take on like almost too much. I think I put like 1,000 projects, and then I try to get to each one in time.
Yeah.
And it's time messes with me. I'm like, there's not enough time in the day. I gotta balance this and this and this and that. And I'm like, but somehow all my projects get done. Everything that I need to do in the week or the month or the year somehow ends up done. So it's like I'm not taking off more than I'm not biting off more than I can chew, but I really gotta push to get there.
Yeah. Yeah, spreading yourself thin is a risk, because then you get to the point where it's almost like you know, you're jeopardizing, well, what am I going to put my energy into? Because something's not going to go well, you know, so.
Yeah. Some weeks I get not a lot of sleep. That's one thing that's been able to help me, and it's kind of hindered me in some facets, but sleep, being able to manage my sleep. Most people don't have that ability. I mean, they do, but they don't have it to the extent of where I can. Like, I've been up for more than 36 hours. I've been...
Right now?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, you're pretty alert for that.
One of my podcasts, I was up for like 36 to 40 hours. I was awake
I'd be dead.
that long. A lot of people
couldn't do
can't
it.
manage that, and it's weird.
I mean, I shouldn't say I couldn't do it, I'm being dramatic, but
A lot of people.
if I had to, I'm sure I could manage it, but I definitely would struggle.
I can be like this.
No, I'd be pissed
I'm
off. I get
36
very
hours.
pissed off, like when I'm tired. You know, and that's
I
one
can be
thing
that
I
way
hate
too.
when I wake up and when I'm ready to go to bed. Don't ask me a million questions. That's one of my biggest things I can't say. I hate when things come up right when I wake up or when
Yeah.
I'm ready to go to bed.
I'm not a
It's-
morning person.
No.
No.
I can be a morning,
If
like if
I
I had to
sleep
be
at-
somewhere I can, you know, but I'd much rather take it slow. Nobody talk to me, like just let me.
See, the thing is, I like to have time to wake up.
Right.
I like to take my time when I'm up. I don't like to be, hey, you got to be at work at 8 o'clock.
Well, and that's my problem all through school and even into now is like I push it too much. Like I'll be like, and back to being on time, like, you know, I'll be like, oh, I don't have to be here for another half hour, so I'll take a 25-minute nap and
Some people can't take naps like that. Like, I know a lot of people that can't take
I
naps.
can take a fat nap.
I can take like a 5-minute nap. I can take a 10-hour nap. That's not a
There's
nap. That's a
nothing.
sleep.
There is no nap that's better than when you're somewhere you shouldn't be sleeping. I swear to God.
It is though.
Sitting in class, like, you know,
Yeah.
it's comfy. It's just the right temperature. You got like, you know, you're kind of like in a corner. It's toasty, kind of. The professor's kind of in the back talking. There's just an example, but yeah, it's just like. Never is it more convenient that you want to fall asleep than in that moment. It's just
One
like,
place you don't want to fall asleep while you're driving.
I don't. Driving to the beach, I have gotten to the point, like, I was so tired, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
My dad was, like, took over.
Yeah. I've been awake at.
Oh, I'm yawning.
Yeah. I've been awake, like to the point while I'm driving that I had to roll down the windows, turn on the music as loud as it goes, and I'm like
Yeah.
hitting myself
Come
in
on.
the face trying to stay awake, and I'm like, yeah, this is not good. I need to get where I'm going and.
Right. Now, the biggest thing, I think, turning on the cold air blowing in my
Yeah.
face, it
I roll
kind
down
of
the
helps, but that
window,
just
yeah.
pisses me off. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, now that's getting on my nerves. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I've actually stopped, like, at a gas station or somewhere and took like a 15-minute nap just to.
Charge up a little bit.
Yeah.
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 Anyways, you got anything else to say? This can be it.
I don't know. I don't really have too much on my mind.
Do you feel good about it?
I do. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I have.
All right.
Thank you to your audience, whoever watches. I
Yeah.
think I've never done this. I think it's cool. I mean, I felt pretty comfortable.
Yeah. Set the back on the chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to improve that for next time.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you guys give me suggestions. As you can see, it's
yeah,
Christian. Shout
I
out
love
Christian
it.
for the table, I guess.
yeah, I love it.
And
The axe really helps too.
Yeah, I had this. I'm gonna put the link to this guy because I really like him. He handmade this for me, carved
Oh,
it,
wow.
painted it.
Is that your logo on the?
No,
I thought maybe it was your.
no, I made him make traditional Viking. You know, Odin.
That looks
This is
exactly
Odin.
like your
This
guy.
does.
I feel like it does. Maybe similar. It's even got the lines in the beard.
Yeah, it is similar, but this is supposed to represent Odin. There's
I don't know who that is.
he's the Viking god, and then all these are like symbols and
You ever
runes.
killed anything with it?
Have I?
Mm-hmm.
No, this is just for show.
Oh, you
I mean,
couldn't kill anything with
Yeah,
it?
you could. I mean,
Maybe that'll be your next podcast. Just like flip it to the window and
yeah, and just bang. What if I should edit this to like look like I'm actually like throwing it at the camera.
like in the
That's
beginning. That could be your intro. Like you're throwing the axe.
It's gonna have to be now that we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have to.
That'd be an awesome intro. Yeah. Or a closing.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that's it.
Alright. Well, I thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having
You
me.
want to shout out anything? Manners Matter, of course.
Yeah, go like Manners Matter on Facebook, Instagram. And hopefully by this time next week we know who the president is. That's a big thing. And hopefully by next time I'm on, we're in a bit of a more good place.
Yeah, doing a little bit more.
Yeah.
Shop locally, everybody.
Shop locally. Yes.
I think that was your message.
Yeah.
But I'd second
I gotta
that.
go try Tremont. They have a creamery now.
Yeah, I
ice
saw
cream.
that.
I gotta go try that. I don't need the ice cream.
I did
but
too.
Sounds good.
I like ice cream.
Well, thank
Anyways,
you.
Yep. And we're out.
Cool. That was cool. I don't know how it's gonna come out, but
It wasn't recording
I feel like-
this whole time.